Hey guys, I'm not sure if we are live or not. If we are, let me know. I should start seeing comments here. Also, if you guys hear me okay, that would be nice to know as well. Let's see if I can find. All right, Neil, thank you. Thanks for letting me know, man. I appreciate it. Right. Looks like I'm live. If you guys are in any Facebook groups or my Facebook group, if you guys can help me out and share it, that'd be a huge help. I'm still trying to get a little situated. Obviously, we had, which maybe you know, maybe you don't, we had over 2,500 people sign up for our giveaway for Black Friday, which is pretty awesome. So let me just share this in the group. And while I'm here, let me know where you are watching from. And hopefully you guys had a great week. All right. It looks like we're live. Do you hear me okay, Neil? And anyone else that's here? Let me just finish setting up a little. The idea for this is going to be kind of go through all different things, a wrap up of kind of what happened in 2025, the goal of what 2026 is going to be, a lot of changes, a lot of new products, and I'm going to talk about that. Awesome, thank you guys. Hey Cassette, I'm actually gonna be talking about our little project later on. John, what's up, brother? As you guys are coming in, thank you for being here. I'm seeing people from all over the place. Thanks for watching on YouTube. YouTube's going to be a big, a big thing this year for us. I'm going to be really focusing on YouTube, especially when it comes to teaching and just fun projects as well. All right, so let me just, while everyone is starting to come in, as I can see a lot more people. Also, just so you know, this is paint from me making paint. About 30 minutes ago, I only got home to set this up. So that's kind of where I'm at. But as I said earlier, we have had over 2,500 people sign up for our giveaways, which I'm pretty excited about. I didn't do a very good job explaining all the different all the different prizes and that kind of stuff and what they entail. So I'm really excited to discuss that, talk about it, and then obviously do the drawing as well. So the plan for this live stream is going to be start with kind of a recap of 2025, then go through the giveaways, and then talk about plans for 2026, what's changing inside of the spray source, and all of that as well. It's all right, Chris. Honestly, we're going to be doing a lot more of them throughout this year. It's something that very clearly everyone really enjoys and really excited. So that's kind of we're going to try and do that once every month, once every 2 months in some capacity, some sort of giveaway, which I'm going to talk about later on. I have some video ideas, which are going to translate into giveaways. Just a little snippet. We're going to talk about it later on in the live, but hopefully that gets you excited. Awesome. Now, for the giveaway, we had, like I said, over 2,500 people sign up, and that's across both TSS and TSS professionals. I did separate it out, and that's for good reason. Some of these prizes are more geared towards DIYers, and some are more towards professionals, and that's kind of just the nature of the beast. Now, give me 1 second. Let me keep grabbing some more stuff because I have stuff everywhere, and I was really hoping to be more set up before I started the live, but it is what it is. I did also bring home a few of my favorite colors, which we'll talk about as well. Some new products that we just added to the website. If anyone knows, they know. Well, I appreciate it, John. The nice thing is we're gonna have plenty of other ones going forward. It was cool because almost 80% of the people that signed up were actually brand new to TSS, either just placed their first order or have never placed order, which is really cool. It just means that they wanted to support, even though they're not necessarily ready to spend money for a project or paint or whatever. So really exciting and just cool to see. Did bring some of our new products as well. We're going to talk about these, my new OptiGrit sandpaper line, pros about that, when to use different ones, and all different stuff like that. I'm just going to tease this real quick, but new TSS spray suits in all different sizes. We are launching our own spray gun company next month. Well, hopefully this month. It will be this month. I'm gonna make time. But that's something that I'm going to talk about. Also, one of our giveaways, which is awesome. And then just a few other of our new products, like more sandpaper, talking about different types, different grits, when to use different grits, that kind of stuff. Our normal stuff, which would be our epoxy spray cans and that kind of stuff. But I'm going to talk about some new upcoming new variants of this, new colors, how this is going to impact not only the website, but also our kits. An update to our spray gun cleaner, which a lot of people maybe don't even know that we have it. But I made an update to this that I'm pretty excited about. And then obviously our normal colors, and then our roll sandpaper, which is both for DIY and professionals. All right. Michael, good to have you, brother. Appreciate it. All right, so I'm going to try to set this up because obviously I have the giveaway in its own software. Let's see if I can make this work on my little laptop screen. While I'm getting everything set up, and I should be set up in the next couple minutes, if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer some questions during this live stream. I probably won't have time to do everything because there's a lot that I need to talk about, as well as obviously the giveaway. But if you guys have any questions, love to be there, or love to answer some for you guys. Okay, so done. And I'm sorry I wasn't fully set up. I'm trying to get set up quickly. So entrance, winners. There we go. All right, so it should be pretty easy then. Now, just for full disclosure, obviously we have a ton of people that entered. I wanted to do like a live poll on the screen, but the software I have for the giveaway has a lot of, I guess, details I don't necessarily want to make public, just for privacy stuff for the people that entered. One being like their email, their phone number, that kind of stuff. Obviously, I'll say the name on the screen and that kind of stuff as we draw, but that's kind of how we're going to do it. But I think I'm all set up here, and I'm just gonna kind of. Hey Neil, thanks, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's one thing I'm going to talk about later on even more. But a lot of the small projects, I know a lot of people are lacking or want to use our products on smaller projects, and having other options, whether it's a mix and match 4-ounce ready to spray paint bundle, or different promotions that get you, like, if you buy 4-ounce samples, get a half off spray can of clear coat or something like that. Because obviously our 2K clear coat is great for stuff like that as well. So I've heard everyone yelling from the rooftops about smaller projects. I haven't forgot about you. It's just there's a lot of things that when it comes to this type of business, having tons of different types of customers, different projects, and that kind of stuff, I have to pick and choose kind of what I work on and in the process, right? So where it is in line. All right. Giveaways. All right. So let's start talking about 2025, because as many of you guys know, 2025 was a big change for me. Not only just me, but also the business as a whole. We launched a completely new paint line with Alpha Automotive, which is kind of my brainchild from the beginning. which I'll talk about kind of why it's called alpha and that kind of stuff. I know many of you guys already know, but we're going to kind of go from there. But 2025 was a big change. Obviously, it was a big jump and a big question mark when it came to, as a business, how people were going to react to new products, how people were going to enjoy our new primers and clear coats and everything else, and the whole system I've kind of curated and created. And 2025 has been not only one of the more challenging, but also the most fulfilling for me, because not only did the company grow significantly, we also were able to help a lot more customers, a lot of new DIY people that might have never even thought about painting their cars, especially, in the world we live in, there's a lot of question marks, whether it's inflation or stuff like that. So being able to help people that wanted to paint their car or customize anything, we were able to help that because we're able to be affordable, as also be able to, with me being a painter, explain and help with the entire process along the way. Johnny, you definitely will, man. I'm going to try and keep this live stream about an hour, but if it goes a little longer, there's a lot to, I guess, talk about. And then I have a lot of really cool stuff for 2026. And then obviously we have all the giveaways and that kind of stuff. So 2025 was awesome. And if you guys painted something in our products, I would love to hear about it and talk about it in the chat as well. So definitely do that. I would also love to know which one of my new colors is your favorite. I know Phantom Blue is my current favorite. Not to toot my own horn, but that's probably what I'm going to end up painting my daily, either blue or purple. I haven't decided, but that's kind of where I'm at. So 2025, we did SEMA. 2024, we launched at SEMA. And then usually after that, we have Black Friday and then slow season, which is right now, just a year ago. And then we have the spring and summer and then fall. And normally our slow season is end of December until February, basically. And that's kind of where this year, 2025, at least changed. We were able to not only get a lot of more people into the DIY scene or in the paint scene, but also help them along with the process affordably. And I'm really proud of my team and all of the website stuff that we were able to adapt to make it more, I guess, easy to do or easy to understand or accessible through videos or content on the website or the builder or vehicle paint kits. And then on top of it, the products that we have are very easy to use while being very high quality, right? A lot of companies have nice stuff like PPG and other brands, but they're not the most user-friendly unless you're a professional. So having something that's on that par with quality and also easy to use was really my goal when building anything and adding anything to the website, which we'll discuss whenever I talk about some of the new products. So that was 2025. I focused a lot on rebuilding the business, changing how stuff worked, and then also just making everything streamlined and easy on the backside. 2026, on the other hand, the goal is to focus on content and making everything even more accessible for you guys. Also, I really want to get back in the lab and start making a lot more custom colors because everyone seems to really enjoy whenever I come up with colors, but I'm only coming up with a couple brand new colors every few months, right? I really want to get into the habit and prioritize doing more colors every single month. That's really my goal, which I think you guys will be excited about, especially with the new ways I plan on selling them or offering them, basically, which I teased earlier. One of the things we're working on is a 4-ounce ready to spray. So like sample size or small airbrush size paints that you're going to be able to mix and match and get a discount on a bundle. And then also on top of that, we're going to have a monthly recurring mystery box, which is going to come with some colors, some new products, some stuff in testing, maybe a color that's not even released every month. That's really my goal, which I would love feedback on that idea as we keep going as well. But that's just one idea that I have going. But when it comes to my whole goal is content this year. So whether it's for teaching or live streams, question and answers, fun projects, more, actually putting and using our colors on full projects. That's kind of the goal. So right now, my warehouse is actually being renovated, and we're going to have half of the entire warehouse, or a large amount of the warehouse, be a large paint booth that is going to be made for videos, almost exclusively. And I'm going to be trying to do videos at least 3 or 4 times a week is my goal. Small videos, and then maybe one large video every 2 weeks is really the goal. And with that paint booth, I'm going to have the camera set up. I'm going to be doing, obviously, showcasing colors, showcasing products, even doing testing. Our painted samples will be in there. And all of that is really the goal. And then really, a lot of people enjoyed our podcast. And unfortunately, I have dropped the ball on that. And that's simply because I've been focusing on a lot of other things, which I'll talk about in a few seconds. On the backside that you guys probably haven't even noticed yet. And that's kind of where we're starting from. And I want the podcast to be something that I'm able to do weekly or bi-weekly all the time. And if you guys have anyone that you want to see on it, or changes to it, maybe format changes, or maybe some of them aren't even traditional podcasts and it's just me doing FAQs on the video. I would love to hear your feedback and thoughts on that as well. I'm loving to see more people in here. Guy, I'm very excited for that too. If I remember right, my team either made it today, your replacement, or it is being made Monday. If you're the guy in Hawaii, I'm pretty sure. Excited to see that, man. Very excited to see that project. Neil, yeah, the 2K clear, which I don't have one here. The spray can 2K clear, I'm really proud of. Not only because it's a true 2K, but it also lasts at least 24 hours and can last a lot longer. So, you can do a bunch of projects with that. That being said, for the models, maybe it's good to just mix a little bit at a time. That's how it goes. I definitely would love to see that going forward this year. I know me and him both kind of are in that middle ground of waiting on a paint booth to be made. So keep an eye on that. Hopefully that works and happens sometime this year. But yeah, when it comes to the content, I would love to hear what you guys want to see more of and understand. I know I have tons of different types of customers here: DIYers, professionals, people that have been following me since 2014, some people that came along the way. I appreciate each and every one of you, and really value your opinion and input, because I know most of you guys always try and give as much input as possible. So constructive feedback is always welcome. So with all that said, many of the things in 2026 that is going to be changing is, one, I don't know if you've seen, but on TSS, we no longer have a OEM search. So in the past, I'll spare you the details because not everyone's a developer or cares about development, but we used to have a search page, and that search page went to a database and grabbed the information for OEM and then showed it on the website. It was very clunky. It wasn't easy to search. It was confusing to a lot of people. And the goal with that was to try and make it as easy as possible. So if you go on thespraysource.com, and it hasn't been transitioned over to TSS Pro yet, but it will be hopefully later this month, we now have over 160,000 OEM colors sold in base coat, in aerosol spray cans, and in vehicle paint kits, all three. And that's including tri-stages, limited edition OEM colors from basically every brand under the sun. And I'm really proud of it. We're the largest online reseller of OEM paint in the world. We have the largest database. We have the largest catalog that is shoppable, and I'm very proud of it. That took me and the team at least 400 hours to get right, and we are very excited to say that that is up and live on the website. There's still things that I'm working on, and I'll have updates on that within the next couple weeks when it comes to website design, I guess. I'm working on a bundle builder directly on there that kind of walks the customer through step one, what ground coat or primer, step two, how many color cans, with a guide that kind of helps people figure out, because that's our number one question now is how much do I need for XYZ project, right? So having a step-by-step guide will hopefully help you guys as a customer make sure you get everything you need for that project and make it go as smooth as possible. Plus, our vehicle paint kit cheat sheet, which is this big, that has step by step for every single vehicle paint job. I'm going to be making more of them for each type of job as well. So spray can jobs, wheel paint, my bike kit, which I have my ski bike right here. That's why I keep pointing there, and other projects like that. So I want to make it as easy as possible for everyone. So that's just a few of the things in 2026. Let's get into the giveaway, because I know that's why most of you guys are here. And then we'll talk about some of the new products that are already on the website and new products that are coming on the website, and then other features. And then I'll open it up to some questions. And then hopefully we all can then go have fun this Friday night and then enjoy a nice weekend. So without further ado, let's talk about doing the drawings. Stream the drawings of the... All right. So let's talk about some of the products, or I guess prizes. I guess that's the better word for this. So we're going to talk about that. So first things first, let's start with some of our custom stuff. So I was planning on custom painting some of these prizes, and the problem with that is I wanted to make sure it's something that the winner actually wanted. So rather than pre-painting them before this giveaway, I actually decided I'm going to choose the winner and then have them tell me what color they want it painted, or, give me some sort of input on the design or whatever on some of these prizes. Not everything is going to be custom painted prizes, but a lot of them are. And that's simply because I think it is a cool way for you to kind of interact with our colors, our products, and that kind of stuff, while also getting value from it. So the first thing is going to be this hydro flask. Obviously it's black right now. It won't be black long. After this, over the weekend, or actually, honestly, it'll probably be Monday, my team will reach out to whoever wins it, and we will discuss what colors and that kind of stuff. And then I'll paint it. I'll do a video on painting it, and then we'll ship it out to them. And then that's their prize. So on the custom stuff, obviously I don't have unlimited amount of time. So it could be 2 weeks until you get your prize, but you will get it. The nice thing is that it'll be customized to your specifications, which I think is exciting. I would love to hear your thoughts. But let's do it. All right. So I'm going to do the drawing for this one right now. So out of 2,500 people and almost 100,000 entries, because again, during this giveaway, you could do tons of other entries by either downloading our mobile app, by liking on Facebook, leaving a review, sharing with your friends, referring people to the giveaway, and stuff like that. So first person to win is C. Morales. I got to see if I can make this so I can see the name. Counts as a winner. How do I do this? Okay. So it looks like I only get the email. So I'm not going to fully say the email, but I will at least kind of do it. And then if you're the winner, you can comment obviously in this chat, but either way, you're going to be reached out to via email. So that's how we're going to kind of talk about it. But so C. Morales, whoever you are, I appreciate you. You won a custom hydro flask that will be painted in any of our custom colors, and potentially designs, as long as it's not too time consuming, but at least in one of our custom colors. So congrats to you. All right. So now the next winner, let's change it up, and it'll be some Ray-Ban glasses. So again, these will be custom painted as well. Right now, they are black, brand new in the box. But I think these will be a really cool thing, and we will paint them any color you want. I actually have 3 of these. So we're going to do the first one now, and then we'll do 2 more of them right after. So I have 3 pairs of Ray-Bans. They are a medium size frame, so it should fit 99% of people. So let's do it. Draw a winner. Anthony 180. Anthony, congratulations. You won a pair of custom Ray-Bans. Again, you'll get an email to discuss the custom color that you want them painted. All right, so we got 2 more people for custom painted Ray-Bans. Actually, we actually have 3 pairs, but only 2. I have 4 pairs. 3 of the pairs are is that same style, the bigger ones, and then I have 1 pair of the Top Gun style aviator as well, which I think would look good custom painted as well. So let's give away those as well. Might as well. I wasn't planning on it just because I didn't know how they would paint or how they have smaller frames. So let's see. All right, so the second winner for a custom pair of Wayfair Ray-Bans is Joshua Bloodworth. Joshua, congratulations on a custom pair. Again, keep an eye out on your email beginning of next week. Next person is Daryl W. It looks like Williams Custom Paint. Another pair of custom Ray-Bans. Let me know what color you want them, and we will send them out after I get them painted. So that is that. And now, like I said, I have 1 more pair of Ray-Bans that are the aviator style. They're currently gold. Let's make them not gold, I guess. I keep forgetting my camera's over there. So let's figure out who the winner of the aviators are. Again, unfortunately, I can only see your email for some reason. Actually, I lied. Nope. I completely can see the name, and I will go back and do that. But I'm really excited to announce Jim Kucha, which I know I'm friends with you on Facebook. I think you're actually semi-local to me. These are now yours. Let me know what color you want me to paint them. Since I am friends with you on Facebook, feel free to reach out, but the team will reach out to via email as well. So let's go back. So the first winner who was the winner of the Hydro Flask, name is Carlos Morales. That's who won the Hydro Flask. And then Tony Hernandez won one of the Ray-Ban Wayfairs custom painted as well. And then Joshua Bloodworth, which the email and the name matched, so that makes sense. Again, one of the Ray-Ban Wayfairs. And then the last one, which is Daryl Williams, also won some custom Ray-Ban Wayfairs. All right, so now let's start getting into some of the other products that we're going to give away. So again, some of these are going to be custom painted, some are not. I'm going to start with all the custom painted ones, and then we'll get into some of the other products. And again, if you guys are still here, let me know in the comments. I want to make sure everything's still working. You can hear me fine, and that kind of stuff. I want to make sure the comments are actually coming into my platform or software that I'm live streaming through. So if you're here, let me know there. But let's go to a Yeti tumbler. One of the big Yeti tumblers. Right now, again, it's just a dark navy blue. This will be a custom painted thing here as well. So I actually have 2 of these. So let's do the drawing for both of those. Good deal. Thank you guys. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for being here. All right. Good deal. That's actually one of my my fears live streaming is stuff not working and no one telling me. So Thank you for the reinsurance. All right, so let's draw the winner of one of the Yeti tumblers. And again, it's a true real Yeti as well. All right, let's find the name. Billy Chandler. Here you are, brother. You are a winner of a Yeti tumbler. Again, custom painted. We will figure out which one of my custom colors you would like for it to be painted. Let's do one more drawing for another Yeti. Dave Murray. Congratulations on winning a Yeti tumbler, that second Yeti tumbler. All right, so there's all of those. And then let's go to the Yeti water bottle, I guess. I guess that's what that, yeah, Yeti water bottle. Perfect. Which this one's really cool. I almost kept this for myself, but I decided not to. It's red right now. We can paint it any color. Let's actually do the drawing. I'm actually going to pick from TSS Professionals for this one. Let me go to that promotion. Because all of these have been on TSS directly. So let's do a winner from TSS Pro on this water bottle, because I know the professionals need to keep drinking their water. Draw. All right. Brandon Feast. Congratulations on a custom Yeti water bottle. Again, if you want it painted, I know you're a professional, so maybe you don't want me to paint it. Maybe you want to paint it yourself, which I can work out. But at the very least, you won this. I would love to do a custom paint job on it for you. I know time is money. And as a professional, you probably don't want to be painting your own stuff anyway. So let me know what color you want that to be painted, and I will make that happen for you. All right. So now I have two of these next items. I'm pretty excited for them. Hopefully you guys are too. Mr. Sean, thank you for being here, brother. I'm excited to see that Phantom Red Mustang outside here soon. Terry, thanks for being here, man. All right, so the next thing, which I have two of, is a mini toolbox. It's obviously from Harbor Freight. I will, whenever I paint it, I'm probably going to take off these letters or maybe paint over them, depending on if they're sticker or not. But custom paint this will be really cool. I got two of these. We're going to do one for TSS Pro, one for TSS. Very cool. It's got about a 1-inch deep top and then a couple drawers. I got two of these. Let's give that away. So let's start with the TSS Pro one since I'm here, and then we'll do one from TSS. Okay, winners, draw. Mr. Sean Lorber, congratulations on a new U.S. General mini toolbox. Again, custom painted. We will be reaching out via email so you can tell me what color you want that painted. All right, so let's go back to TSS and we'll do one of the DIY customers, again, custom toolbox as well. So winners, draw. I like this. Randall Reynolds, congratulations, brother. You are a proud new owner of a custom painted U.S. General mini toolbox. So we're at 9 or 10 winners currently, which I know I talked about only having 10 winners in our giveaway, but I actually have quite a few more products to give away. So hopefully that's okay with you guys. All right, so the last custom painted item is going to be this big Yeti cooler or bucket, I guess. I think this thing is freaking cool. I definitely want to load it up with some ice and beer and bring it to a hot tub. That's what I want to do with it. But whatever you do with it, I could care less. But this is going to be custom painted as well. Right now it's blue. It'll be whatever color you want it to be to whoever wins it. So let's draw that. Live draw. Go back. I don't know why I keep doing that. Winners. So this is going to be from TSS Pro because I think you're the one that needs the beer the most. George Nettles, which I know I am friends with on Facebook as well. Let me know what color you want that painted. If you don't reach out to me on Facebook, either way, my team's going to reach out via email. But congratulations on the custom painted Yeti bucket, ice chest, something like that. Mr. Michael, thank you for being here, man. How's it going, man? Tim, nice to see you, brother. Thanks for being here. All right. So that's all of the custom painted stuff. I'm not sure if you guys can see some of the other items on the desk, but let's start giving away some custom hydrographic linear blocks. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them, all different specs, all different sizes, all different designs. Colton over at Linear actually hooked us up with these for the giveaway. So that's why we have some extra stuff to give away, and hopefully you guys are excited. I'm going to do probably 4 or 5 of them on TSS Pro, and then we're going to do 2 or I can't remember how many I have. We're going to do some on TSS Pro, some on TSS for the giveaway, just to make sure, the professionals who will be using these each and every day kind of get prioritized, especially for the longer blocks. But on this one, which is a semi-flex, I think 18-inch, let's do that one now. Let's go on TSS for that one. So let's go on that. Mrs. Holly, thank you for being here. Better late than never. It's actually probably pretty good time because all I was doing was rambling, and now we're doing the giveaway. All right, so winners on TSS. And then let's draw a winner for this 18-inch We the People graphic linear block. All right, so Will Page, congratulations. You are the winner of the 18-inch We the People limited edition 1 of 1 linear block. So congratulations on that. Now let's do one of these. Let's do the Lightning 8-inch block here. So it's a no flex rigid linear block, which is going to be great for small panels and stuff that are really flat. So let's do that. We're going to do this one on TSS as well. So let's draw a winner. Keith Rader, one of the two, whichever it is. I'm sorry. I know it's one of those, but congratulations. You won a 8-inch limited edition lightning bolt linear block. All right, so let's move over to TSS Pro. Let's start doing some of the TSS Pro winners over here. All right, so let's do an 18-inch Ultra Flex in some sort of rainbow galaxy. I'm going to call it Galaxy Hydro Dip. And it's the 18-inch Ultra Flex. Ultra Flex meaning very flexy. So that's going to be that. Let's do a winner. Mark Weber, or did I already do that? No, yeah. Mark Weber, congratulations. You are a winner of the 18-inch Ultra Flex. All right. Now, let's do which one? Let's do this one. So this is going to be a rigid veteran style. I don't know if you guys can see the Hydro Dip here, but pretty exciting. So let's do this. Let's draw the winner. Congratulations, Luis Cardona, whichever. Congratulations. This will be shipped out to you. And then let's do a 8-inch semi-flex in It looks like music note graphic, which is kind of cool. It's actually surprised how much I like that one. Pretty cool. Let's do a winner on that one. Draw a winner. Wade Johnston. Congratulations on a limited edition 8-inch music note linear block. And if you guys are here and don't know what these products are, they're sanding blocks for, you know, restorations and custom and body work and sanding primer and that kind of stuff. I would imagine if you're here, you probably know what they are, but if not, I figured I would say it anyways. All right, so I'm gonna do 2 more on TSS Pro, and then we'll do the last one on TSS. So let's go. Let's do this big one. So I think this is a 24-inch in what seems to be kind of like a skull and flame. Hydro dip job, probably the coolest one here. I'm pretty jealous of whoever gets this one. So let's do that. Again, this one's going to be from TSS Pro, so it's going to be professional here. Let's do this winner. Chris Claiborne, congratulations, man, on winning this limited edition 1-of-1 custom hydrographic linear block. Again, 24-inch with skull and fire on it. Pretty cool. And then the last one for TSS Pro is going to be this semi-flex. Actually, I said those other ones were 18-inch. Those are actually 12-inch. This is an 18-inch. An 18-inch bullet casing hydrographic linear block. Let's see who the winner on TSS Pro for that is. And then we'll go back to the last couple on TSS. Clement Cantu. You are the winner, or Chantu, something like that. Clement, congratulations. You are a winner of an 18-inch limited edition linear block. Congratulations. All right. Now, let's switch back to TSS. And if you guys are enjoying these prizes, let me know down below and which one your favorite is and which one you wish you would have won. Or maybe you did win one. Let me know which one you won. All right, so let's go to TSS. Let's do the last linear block, which is going to be an 18-inch Ultra Flex in what seems to be like a winter camo, which is pretty cool. Yeah, it's definitely some sort of camo, which is really cool. I don't know if you guys can pick up on it or not from here, but Ultra Flex, very flexy, 18-inch. Actually, 18-inch, not 12 inches. Keith Rader, congratulations on this 1-of-1 limited edition custom Ultra Flex linear block. All right, now let's go back to some of the other products. So we got one more giveaway, and I'm going to take this time to actually talk about it a little bit as well. So, and this is going to be from TSS because this is more of a DIY home garage type of painter. Pretty excited about this, but I'm launching my own spray gun company. Many of you guys know we've had a bunch of, or 3 different spray guns that are TSS branded whenever I took ownership of TSS. I've always wanted to kind of go away from branding them as TSS. I wanted them to have its own brand. So not only are they more of a long-term brand, and also just not really a house brand, because I want them to be able to stand on their own, have their own following, and solve different problems. I wanted to start with the DIY problem. And in my head, I don't know of a good DIY, relatively, cheap or affordable spray gun system that works with and comes with everything you need that goes along with our paint system or our DIY paint kits. So what I developed here, Lyro, I'm calling it Lyro, is our new brand. So this one is called our Garage Pro, which I figure kind of leans into the DIY LVLP style gun. You can use a smaller compressor. I've tested it with a 25 gallon and it actually worked really well. It was able to keep up. It only takes, I think, 6 CFM or something like that. The specifications will be on the website, and I'm going to be doing a dedicated video just on it. But what I'm excited about, it obviously comes with the LVLP gun. It comes with, so let's talk about what all it comes with, I guess, because that's really the main key takeaway for this. John, I know you're trying to be funny, but affordable and cheap, I think, is two different things, right? Good guns and good products can be affordable, but not cheap necessarily. So that's why I changed my wording on that. So on this one, with it being a low pressure or low volume, low pressure LVLP, you can use it with a smaller compressor. Now, it's a very good looking gun, which is something that I think is kind of important because you want to feel confident with it in your hand. It feels really nice. It's not real big. It's not heavy. But I want to show you guys what it looks like. It's black with like a teal chrome accessories. Really good looking gun, I think. But the really cool part is it comes with a 2.5 needle for our high build. As many of you guys know, especially in custom and restoration, it comes with, it requires a larger tip, especially our primer, or if you're using polyester or something very high solids, you want to have a 2.5 to make it flow, to get those mills on there so you can do your block sanding and all of that kind of stuff. Also, the 2.5 works with our peelable products. I had a friend in here talk about Fonzie over at Dip Your Car. Now, this gun with the 2.5 works very well with their peelable system for Autoflex or Plasti Dip and that kind of stuff. So that was something that I wanted to keep in mind. It's not only going to be just for primer, but it also can work with other coatings like that. I also know certain in the woodworking world, a 2.5 would be very nice for some of their coatings as well. So I wanted to keep that in mind. But obviously, for my own customers, like you guys, many of you guys need a gun for the DIY paint kits, and I wanted to build a system specifically for that. So good looking gun, comes with a 2.5 in it. Then it also comes with, let me get some of the stuff out because there's a lot. It also comes with a 1.3 needle set, which is obviously going to be for clear coat. So you get the clear coat needle, you have the primer needle, and then you get a 1.4, which is for base coat and our sealer. So you have everything you need when it comes to needle and gun for high build primer, medium build primer if you want, sealer, base coat, and clear coat, all in one easy to use box. So that's just part of it. It also comes with, actually, let me get this out. There is a lot in this little box. It comes with a 1,000 milliliter, aka about a quart or so, hard cup. This cup is ceramic coated, so it's very easy to clean, and it just looks good in matte black. I thought, like I said before, looking good is part of it. It also comes with kind of like a little starter kit, basically. Comes with, obviously, the tool to be able to take the gun apart, so you can change the needle, clean it, that kind of stuff. It comes with a cleaning wand, as well as a nipple that can go on your air, so that way you can plug into your air hose and that kind of stuff. So that's good. So, and then some other things that I thought about including that I've never seen in another kit would be a inline air filter that actually has a removable inside filter. So that's one thing. So a lot of DIYers, they don't have great filtration. So starting with at least a good filter on the gun is going to get you a long way. Obviously, you need to have some sort of other dryer or filter, that kind of stuff. But this is going to be a big part of it. So the idea, filter, well, actually, it'll go next part. It also comes with a regulator. Now, whoever wins this, I'm sorry if I rip open the boxes, but just know it's only because of this, and it is brand new. It does come with the regulator. It's the same regulator I've sold on TSS for a very long time. Obviously, it matches the gun, and it's branded Lero. But you can see it's got the teal, it's got the gauge, and then a full regulator. So on the gun, you would have the regulator close to the gun, so you can adjust it, and there's nothing in between. Then you got the filter, and then you have the nipple, which is in that bag over there. But you can see you got everything you need to start your DIY project. But that is everything that comes in the kit. At least, I guess, everything that comes in the kit that is able to be touched. The nice part of this kit also, which I'm sure you guys have seen from everything else, I really lean into the support and tutorials. So every single one comes with this QR code, which then will go to some videos on how to take care of it, how to take it apart, how to clean it, how to change nozzles, what each nozzle is for, what each of these components is for, why you use it, how to install it, why use thread tape, all of that kind of stuff. Videos for that. So that was another pretty big part of it as well. I guess I might as well throw the cup on it as well so you can see it completed. But I'm pretty excited for this, if you can't tell. Now, this is the first gun of the Lero system, and we have quite a few in the pipeline coming forward, and some of which is industry changing, which is pretty exciting. But you can see this is the Lero Garage Pro spray gun system. So this comes with everything in it, plus the 2 needles. Pretty excited, or 2 extra needles. So that's cool. What's up, brother? I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. All right, so I'm not going to put this back apart until after this, but let's draw the winner for this Lero Garage Pro spray gun. I'm going to leave that there for right now. Let's draw the winner. All right. And thanks for all the feedback on it, guys. Holly, yeah, that was kind of the idea, right? I wanted it to be something affordable. I'm hoping to price it right around $300 for the whole kit, which I think is very affordable. Would love to hear your feedback, but with all of the stuff in it, I think that's a really good price and achievable for most people whenever they're getting into their first job. All right, I see the winner. Garrett Coots, or Couts with a Z. Congratulations, brother. I'm sorry for butchering the last name, but congratulations. You are the first person, other than a few people that knew about this gun before it launched, to get one of these. So congratulations. All right, so the last winner, and this is kind of another new product to TSS that I'm pretty excited about. And again, whoever wins, you'll have to respond to an email with the size that you would like. But I have new TSS spray suits. Now, with the rise of, this is large, and I'm actually going to keep this one for myself anyway, so I'm going to rip it open. So whoever wins, you'll get your own non-ripped open. But I'm pretty excited for these. These are going to be getting added to both websites and be optional add-ons. And honestly, I'm going to probably use them as promotional items quite a bit too. You know, spend X amount and get one of these free. But with the rise of F1, which I'm sure many of you guys watched Drive to Survive on Netflix, I want to design this as kind of like a jumpsuit for a race car driver. That was kind of the vision, with obviously the TSS colors, teal, black, white. I thought looked good. Back, big TSS logo. Front, TSS logo. I love the look of it. It has a scrunchie for the waistband, which I find to be really important, especially whenever you're painting. So if you're using like one of those tie-back disposable suits, I've had to actually tape around my waist because it actually is more universal sized. So it would actually, as I'm painting or leaning over the hood or roof or something, this might actually hit the paint and ruin it. That was one thing I really wanted to prioritize. The other thing is that they have pockets right here, and they're actual pockets for the suit itself, not actually for pass through into your pants underneath. Because I know in Texas, a lot of people only wear the spray suit in the paint booth just because it's hot. So I wanted to keep that in mind as well. So this whole thing, really nice. The pants actually have scrunchie as well. That way it's not super baggy at the bottom as well. It actually molds a little bit more towards your ankle, which is really nice. And obviously, visually, it looks awesome. Has the hood that everyone wants, and it is anti-static. It is anti-static, so you won't have any static buildup in the paint booth because obviously you don't want static attracting dust into your paint job nor onto you. So that was a big part. It also has breathable fabric on the underarms as well as on the back, which is really nice. So they're really high quality. I'm really proud of them. I love the design personally. I would love to hear your thoughts, but my goal this year is actually to start doing more limited editions, maybe quarterly or something like that. This one I plan on having year round, and then I want to have maybe limited edition suits because I feel like as a painter, having something that kind of I guess expresses your creativity or the whole limited edition part, I think will be cool. I don't know of any brands that do that, and I personally think that that's cool. I'm not a big apparel person. I mean, as you can see, I've had this shirt for probably 6 years. Fonzie sent it to me, and it has paint all over it. And I'm sure a lot of painters are the same way. So having a spray suit that kind of is nice, more like a suit, I think will be cool. And these are going to be affordable too. I'm hoping to keep them right around $100. But again, the goal is to use them as a marketing thing. So, especially for the TSS pros or the people that are getting full paint kits, I plan on doing promotions throughout the year. So you can either get them free or significantly discounted, depending on what you buy or spend or whatever. So let's choose who's going to be the winner of the first public spray suit. I did send a spray suit to my buddy BJ with Rogue Enterprises, and he texted me yesterday saying how much he loved it and how well it fit. So I'm glad to hear that other people enjoy it. So let's do, and again, this is the final winner of the 2025 Black Friday, quote unquote, or holiday season giveaway. So let's draw the winner. And again, this one is coming from TSS Pro. Kevin Hand, congratulations, brother. You are the winner of the new TSS spray suit. I'm really proud of it. I hope you guys are excited for it too. Would love to hear your thoughts on creating limited editions or, working with maybe creators for limited edition spray suits or apparel or work shoes and stuff like that. That's one thing that I think will be a cool thing because I feel like that's a untapped market and I think people would really enjoy it. But those are all the winners. Let me close that out and then come back to the live stream here. Thank you, Michael. I really appreciate it, dude. I'm glad you think so too, man. I'm really trying to keep stuff as affordable as possible, especially in a world where guns like this exist that I also have to kind of have on the website too, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. That is not a giveaway, unfortunately. Maybe next year we can do a big giveaway, something like that. But yeah, want to talk about some of the new products that we're going to bring on. I first want to talk about some of the products that are already on the website that you probably haven't heard about or maybe haven't tested yet. And that is going to be our OptiGrit sandpaper, which this is the roll that goes on like the linear block or paper like that. We have everything from 80 grit up to 320 in the long roll. I'm working on making higher grits for wet sanding as well, but this is kind of where we start. So we have the long block sandpaper. This is very affordable stuff, sub $20 for a roll. Granted, they're 10-yard rolls, and I did that for two reasons. One, 10 yards is enough for one vehicle in most cases. And I priced them at the exact, if I was going to sell in 20 yards, I priced it at exactly half. That way, we only have to carry one SKU, one size of each grit, which I thought was important. Make it simple and that kind of stuff. And then instead of marking it up for being a smaller, I wanted to have it exactly the same pricing model as a larger, but be able to be obviously half the cost. That way, if you buy two of these, as a professional, having two rolls rather than one big roll is actually beneficial because you can keep two rolls a lot cleaner than having one roll. And then I know, and chime in if you're a professional and have had this happen, but I have had a roll of sandpaper that either I spilt solvent on it, or it fell into a wet sand bucket, or it got nasty and grease or something like that. And then the whole roll you have to throw out. If it's only a half roll, like this size, I say half. I mean, it's a good size roll, but compared to the larger, more bulk sizes that you can get at other jobber stores, I would much rather lose half of a roll, aka a smaller, cheaper roll, than losing both. And then also, you buy two, you get the same amount as one big roll, but then you can keep one in the plastic, and it's always brand new, and you always have them in stock. So that was the thought process on this. And we're going to have more bundles and mix and matches on the website. It's a priority. I've just obviously been working on a lot of other things, which I know we talked about. See, I knew John knew. I knew he was going to chime in on that. Yeah, and that's exactly it, right? I'm trying to think as a professional with my struggles over the year, whether it's stupid and small like that. I mean, yes, losing $30 to $50 of sandpaper sucks, but it's obviously not the biggest a deal. But when I'm developing a product and it's potentially going to reach, 30,000 people or so a year, and probably more than that, I want to make sure it's thought out so that way it works the best possible for those people. So no matter who you are. So that's one of the products when it comes to sandpaper. And then we have the DA discs, which right now they're just in bags. I have custom boxes coming, so they're going to be a lot prettier. But right now it's just a bag with sticker. But these range from 80 grit all the way up to 3,000 grit. Obviously, most people are going to be using the 80 grit just to knock down primer or body filler really quick before they finish blocking it. Kind of like a mud hog type of thing, or stripping to bare metal. I actually just recently used this on my buffer to strip a car down to bare metal. These work awesome, very affordable. TSS Pro, you get a 15% discount also on top of this, which is really nice. So if you have a TSS Professionals account, you get 15% off retail on every single one of these. Plus, we're going to be adding bulk bundles as well. I just haven't had time to do it yet. And then, like I said, this goes from 80 grit all the way up to 3,000. So some people like to use, 1,500, 2,000, 3,000 on a DA wet sand with a interface pad, which we also sell the interface pad. We got 1,500 here. All of those are great. So we have the DA. And then some people like Trizac. I personally preferred the discs like this with a interface. You get a better bang for your buck, honestly. They last a little bit longer than Trizac usually, and granted, they don't have the foam built in, but you have an interface pad anyways, so you don't need extra foam. But nonetheless, I hear you. Some people love Trizac. We have our own version of Trizac. I call it Optifoam, Optigrit, foam sandpaper for the DA for finishing. I have 1,000, 1,500, and then 2,000. 1,000, 2,000, and 3,000. 1,500 is actually not needed in these products. Our 2,000 takes out 1,000 super easy. And that's simply because the way the abrasive actually is. So this isn't traditional like Trizac. It's more of like, think of it like a jean, not jean material, but like in that same world. So it's not paper with foam and then actual like sand glued onto the paper. It's actually woven, fabric. I don't know if you can tell, but it's more of like a fabric sandpaper. It lasts just as long, if not maybe a little longer. It has the foam built in. They're great. People will love them and do love them. I personally always push people to these because you can get probably 3 to 4 times the amount, and you just use an interface pad, which is like $10 on the website, versus having to pay for that interface pad being built into it. Unfortunately, these aren't cheap. They're cheaper than Trizac, obviously, but they're not cheap by any means. So if you need Trizac style, I have them on the website. They're great. Different colors or different grit, obviously. But I highly recommend you guys trying our disc with the interface pad before you go for these. Or maybe try both and figure out what you personally prefer. But those are those sandpaper. And then the last type of sandpaper I have is the wet dry. Now, I went with half sheets for 2 reasons. One, just like the sandpaper, I wanted to have one SKU for each abrasive type or grit, basically. Not only to make it easy on me for stocking, but also for you guys. Those big sheets are more expensive to ship, more expensive to make. Granted, you get both, but then you have to rip them. And then sometimes if you rip them, they're like crooked, and then the other one is small, this one's big. I wanted to eliminate that. So these are all perfectly half sheets, able to be wrapped around a block, very easy, or used by your hand. And we have all of them from 600 up to 3,000. Very good wet sandpaper. They last great. Again, very affordable. And TSS Pro gets them very discounted. Now, this is a new product. It's not on the website yet. It's probably 2 months out, but I want to talk about it. There's not many guide coats that I like on the market. Spray guide coat, in my opinion, is kind of a waste. You're putting more solvents onto a product, as well as you're not getting into the sand scratches. You're seeing where you have low spots, but you're not getting into the sand scratches, which is what I find to be the most important part of a guide coat. So this guide coat is actually white, believe it or not. I know Merca has white, and I know they charge, your left testicle for it. So that is something I wanted to kind of come up with, especially because 99 or 90% of our sales of our primer is actually our black primer. And obviously black guide coat on black primer doesn't work very well. So I wanted to come up with a white one, which also works on the Linear L411 in blue. It works on all the black primers. It works on gray still. And then obviously we'll have the traditional black guide coat as well. But this is something that I've been working on. I'm very excited for. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. But very excited for that. It will be obviously designed a little bit better. This is just a super early, I guess, early prototype, more or less. But the product itself is amazing. But yeah, black primer is what I use on basically every job. And obviously most of our vehicle paint kits have it in it. So white is really good to have. And not only, like I said, only one brand sells it, and it's not the easiest of things to find online or in person. So I wanted to fix that problem because fixing problems obviously is a good thing. Spray gun cleaner. Obviously we've been selling this. Maybe you knew, maybe you don't. Comes with a traditional spray gun head, but now in the top of the cap, it actually comes with a adapter that can go directly onto this. It goes directly onto the head and then can be adapted directly onto your spray gun nozzle. That way you can backfeed it into the cup and then, or through the cup back through the gun. I thought that was a pretty cool add-on. It makes it so it doesn't, because this is a very high pressure spray gun cleaner, which I like. But I had some people say that it was almost too powerful, that it was spraying everywhere or coming back into their face or something like that whenever they get real close. So I wanted to make it that way you don't have that issue. It's kind of like a gasket that kind of seals into the gun. That makes it a lot easier to use. Something simple, but I think a nice update. Our 4521 clear coat, our number one selling clear by far, also got an update. I haven't told you guys, but I updated the formula. Still the same resin, still the same great product, still the same solvent pack, but it has significantly more UV resistance. Not that it didn't have enough to begin with, but I wanted to bulk it up even more. Mainly because this year I'm going to be releasing more candy colors, meaning like true candies that don't have pearls, don't have other toners in it. And I wanted to have the clear have even literally its industry highest UV resistance. And I thought that was a really good thing. It still sprays the same. It still lays the same. You're still going to get those glassy, amazing finishes, but now you're going to have even more durability and UV resistance for that California or Mexico, Texas, all of those places, Arizona. I wanted to have the industry leading UV resistance for those places, not only just to say that that is the case, to also be even better, especially for our professionals, right? You have another talking point to the customer to help sell that job, which was another pretty big part of it. That's already in effect. Nothing changed on your end. Price didn't change. It's still the same exact product, just with more UV. Nothing will change on your end at all. Clear coat in spray cans. We have our gloss clear and we have our matte clear. Both of which are now going to be available in all of our spray can kits, as well as our bundle builder directly on the website. That's a small update, but still a pretty cool one. Our epoxy, as you know, we've only had gray. I just got word that our black is probably about 2 weeks away. So we will have a black epoxy that we no longer have to use our base black underneath our colors. So right now you had to go gray epoxy, our base black spray can, then your color, if the color required a black ground coat, obviously, which most of our custom colors did, color, and then clear coat. So 4 stages. I didn't like it, but it's something I had to do, and that's why base black has been significantly discounted. But the goal always was to make a black epoxy. That way, it kind of reduced the need of the base black in there. And then I also have a high build primer can coming. So we're going to have the epoxy, which is going to be a no sand sealer. You spray your base coat right on top in both gray and black, hopefully white at some point. Black's the most important. And then gray for OEM, obviously. And then the high build, which will be for more going over body work or imperfections and that kind of stuff that can be sanded. Because obviously normal epoxy like this is not really meant to be sanded. So that's another whole new product that will be coming in the next couple weeks. And then let's talk about a few colors that I have come up with. Best-selling purple last year was our popsicle, which it looks a little bit more blue on camera, but it is beautiful. It is a medium level purple that has a color shift pearl that shifts between purple and pink and a little bit of gold. It is beautiful in person. Then our best-selling pink, obviously our Roxy, like Lacey Blair's truck or Chris Stewart's 1960 Impala. I'm sure you guys know that. Our best-selling yellow was Dijon, which looks a lot more mustardy in person than it does on camera. But this is a yellow gold mustard, hence Dijon. Very beautiful yellow. Not our best selling, but probably my favorite because it's so different than anything else in the market is my tinted rose gold. So it is black with rose gold pearl. There's nothing that I've seen in the world like it. And I'm really, really proud of it. I think more people should be utilizing it and using it, but wanted to bring that up. The best-selling soft shift is the blue, which I did a video on yesterday. You can kind of see it has a color shift pearl in it that is pink, green, purple-ish. Actually, it has the same pearl that is on my El Camino, but built in. That's the best-selling soft shift, which we also have green, purple, pink, and yellow. Best-selling green is our Grove Green, which is like a green candy, but it's not candy. It is actually a base coat that just replicates it. Super easy to spray. Sprayed over black. This is 3 coats over black, and then obviously topped with our clear coat. Best-selling gold, most underrated gold, is our Honey Twist, which, as you can tell, is amazing. One of my favorites. So it is Honey Twist. It's mostly gold with like orange, a little bit of red, a little bit of green. It is beautiful. One of my favorites. I actually know of a few projects that are finally going to be getting completed. Best-selling red, there's 2. Phantom Red, obviously, which 99% of you guys have seen. And then our Fever Dream. They're probably head to head. Fever Dream's been out longer, so I wanted to show that one. So this is Candy Apple Red, basically, but in base coat form. So this is 3 medium wet coats over black. Looks like Candy Apple Red, but it's easy to spray. You can match it. You can blend it. It's amazing. Highly recommend if you ever have a candy red job, or you need to use, or you want to use a beautiful deep red. Fever Dream's amazing. Highly recommend. Our best-selling new color would be, you guessed it, Phantom Blue. So you can see it is a beautiful candy blue that shifts to straight black. It is amazing. It does have a slight purple-ish side tone. So if you want just black and blue, go with tinted blue. But if you're fine, oh man, you can see that color shift. It's amazing. Phantom Blue, if you actually want a true color shift and not just a pearl pop, Phantom Blue is what you want. It looks like basically a candy cobalt blue, and then shifts to complete black. So all of your highlights in the sun will be bright blue, and then all your anywhere that's not getting full sunlight is going to be black. So those are some colors. I'm going to wrap it up. I think this was a eventful live stream. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'll stay on for a couple more minutes. But I think, yeah, I know all of the winners have been chosen. I know we did quite a few extra giveaways. Hopefully that was a nice little surprise. I guess while I'm here, I will talk about, I did recently add the new SATA Jet X's to the website. And we're going to be adding even more spray guns to the website, and even adding a quiz or like a fitting, right? I don't know if you guys are into golf, but golf is one of those rare sports that you can get fitted into a club. And I wanted to kind of adapt that mindset into the paint world because no one does it. So maybe you want a gun that you can move fast with, or move slow with, or things like that. I want to have a quiz or a fitting for spray guns, which I think, especially for the professionals, I think makes a lot more sense. And I think being able to use my knowledge to help customers understand what the different guns do and that kind of stuff, that'll be really cool. And then on top of that, I'm going to be launching my custom engraving on the website. So whether you're buying a new gun or you have a gun and you want to send it in for engraving, whether it's your logo or your name or a design, I'm going to be adding that to the website. Hopefully end of February, it'll be live. So you'll be able to do that on new guns as well as your own guns that you already have. I'm pretty excited about that. And then on top of that, another thing to look forward to later on this year is going to be rentals or demos. A lot of people ask, can I demo a Luma spray gun? Can I demo one of your Lero guns? Can I demo linear blocks? Or maybe can I just rent linear blocks as a DIYer so I have the best quality tool without having to spend the money for the best quality tool? So having the rentals will be really cool. I think that'll not only be good for professionals that are trying to shop around to what kind of gun they like, what they want, what they don't like, that kind of stuff, but also for the DIYers that might want to just dabble, right? Not invest in getting a whole new gun setup. Be able to just borrow one or rent one for a week or 2 weeks or something like that, and just pay for the time that they have it. I think that'll be a really cool thing. And that's something that I think I know for a fact we'll be the first person or first place in the world to do it, and I think we'll be able to do it really well. And we have a lot of different guns and tools and products that we can do that with. So that's another thing to look forward to. No promises on timeline on that because that is a pretty big lift on the back end, but the goal is to have that done by summer is the goal. Hopefully I can do it faster, but that's the goal. Well, I'm going to leave you guys there. I appreciate you guys for being here, and I can't even begin to tell you how much I appreciate all the love and support that I've had in the last year and a half. I don't talk very much publicly about all of the changes and all of the back end stuff, and that's simply because it's I don't want it to come off I guess as there's a lot of stress with changes like this. Coming into my new, bringing in the new brand of paint was a huge undertaking, not only mentally, but also on the team, on the website. I deleted close to, I don't know, 100,000 pages on the website, which I paid all my employees to make at one point. So basically I just burned money to do that, but I'm glad that I was able to do it. I'm glad you guys supported me through it. I'm glad you guys like the products as much as I do. And I look forward to this year. Last year was a lot of rebuilding and changing. This year is going to be more growing and expanding and community building. And I hope you guys are excited. Live streams like this, I'm hoping to be able to do at least once a month, hopefully once every 2 weeks. No promises, but at least once a month. Same with giveaways, at least once every couple of months is the goal. Smaller giveaways than this big one, but pretty excited. Well, anyways, I'm going to go. You guys have a great night. And once again, I appreciate you guys more than you know. Thanks.